Hi, I'm Christian Brindle, and welcome to the Everything Medicare Podcast.
What's up, Everything Medicare Podcast Nation? This is Christian Brindle, wherever you are and however you might be listening to me today. Thank you so much for taking the time. Folks, this is episode 200. We did it. We made it. We came out with 200 unique episodes of a podcast all about one of the most boring subjects you can possibly make a podcast about, and we have a really, really strong, loyal audience. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for being with me all the way from the beginning. You know, I've said this a lot lately as I've kind of reflected on approaching the 200th episode, and I still remember the first episode we ever created. I didn't have a microphone back then. I didn't have a camera back then. The podcast started out as only an audio production. It had no video behind it. It didn't have a whole lot of editing of any kind. The podcast was pretty much just me talking into my phone at the beginning. And the first podcast we ever did was, I think it was called What is Medicare? Episode 1, What is Medicare? And there's been a lot of people that have listened to the show from day one, and they said, they've told me they've through emails, through messages on Facebook, through personal conversations over the phone with people that have become good friends and clients and customers that have come as a result of this show, and they've said, Christian, going back and listening to your first ever episode, and then listening to the most recent episode you've put out, it's unbelievable the transformation you've made as far as your confidence goes, as far as speaking. And I think that's true. I don't want to pat myself on the back or anything, but I think that I've grown up a little bit in front of the audience's eyes as a person. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This podcast is as much about me as it is about Medicare, because every topic we ever come to and every topic we come to talk about, really, I try to find a way to kind of ingratiate the topic along with something that's going on in my life to kind of make it relevant and relatable for you, the audience. And it's just been a fantastic journey all the way since the beginning, and it's been wonderful and fantastic. And I've just so much enjoyed doing the show for you. You've been a great audience, and I really, really appreciate it. If one day I run out of stuff to talk about, and we walk away from the show, you've made this a very, very enjoyable and fantastic ride for me. But I don't have any intentions of doing that anytime soon. I love this podcast. I love this audience. And my intention is I think we should want to just continue to grow it and find new ways to have it grow. I really, really don't see any other path for the podcast going forward other than that. Folks, I have a treat for you, though, for the 200th episode. I try to stay away from these as much as possible because sometimes the insurance companies specifically that we work with do not like us saying anything about them by name, but there's not a whole lot of regulation in terms of Medicare supplements. So I thought it would be a very, very fun and interesting episode to give you, in my personal opinion, and in no particular order, the top 5 Medicare supplement companies we have today in the industry, as far as I see it. And from my experience as a broker, I'm someone that's worked with a majority of carriers, a majority of insurance companies over the years, and I've seen a lot of things. I've had companies that I've worked with that I have not enjoyed working with, and I've had companies that I've worked with that I have very much enjoyed working with. But more than anything else, I take a lot of my opinions as far as how my clients deal with the company and how good or bad of an experience they've had. And in the age of social media and the internet and everything that we have going on technology-wise, people love top 5 lists, top 10 lists, or anything like that. Unlike most top 5 or top 10 lists you may have heard in the past, I'm not going to go in any particular order because then it makes it look like I'm saying one company's better than another. I'm just saying these are the 5 strongest insurance companies, in my personal opinion, that we have in the marketplace today. I'm not saying that they're the only 5 good companies, but I had to put only 5 in there, and there's some companies that I really, really do enjoy and have affection for that I did have to leave off, but you can't put everybody on a top list. So, folks, I'm going to get to that list after I take a break. I have to hear from this week's sponsor. Take a break. I'll be back in segment 2 for a long explanation, a detailed explanation of our top 5 companies, what went into choosing them, and the whole 9 yards. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with me through that quick break. Let's get into my top 5 insurance companies in the Medicare supplement space. So first off, and like I said in segment 1, this is not in any particular order. So I'm not saying that the first one I mentioned is the best or the worst or anything like that. This is not in any particular order. So I'm kind of using a cop out for that. But we did put together a list of 5 that I would throw in there. So the first one I would say would be Aetna. Aetna uses a subsidiary company called Aetna Senior and Supplemental Insurance. Aetna is obviously a humongous insurance company. I did an episode even about a year ago where I said that after the CVS acquisition, where CVS, the pharmacy company, came through and bought up Aetna, that I believe that there could be a potential opportunity because of their diversification in the healthcare industry. Because I was looking at it like this. Aetna is one of the 5 biggest health insurance companies as far as, market cap and customers and enrollments in the country. So CVS automatically entered that space in a huge way when they bought them. They owned an insurance company called SilverScript before that, which was a Medicare Part D drug plan insurance company. So that company has had major success. And adding Aetna to that basically puts them in the forefront of the health insurance industry. They already are at the forefront of the pharmacy industry. And at the time that I recorded that episode about a year ago, they were first experimenting with rolling out actual in-pharmacy clinics, doctor clinics, in pharmacies across the country. And that just continues to expand from my understanding. So I thought that they could just become a complete juggernaut in the healthcare industry as a whole. I believe that they have to be in this conversation. They've recently came out with, well, not Aetna specifically, but CVS has come out with another insurance company that's owned by CVS called Ascendo, which is basically all in the same family, same little umbrella there. That's been very strong in some markets for Medicare supplements. And in part, folks, Aetna has been a Goliath company for a long time, but now they have that CVS backing. In many, many markets, they have very competitive rates, very competitive prices. Their rate increases seem to be incredibly fair for the clients that we have worked with them on over the years. They have an A rating at the time of recording this with AM Best, which is basically like the Better Business Bureau, if you will, almost for insurance companies, but a little different. They rate the financial stability of insurance companies. An A is always a good thing. They have the brand recognition. They have the success in the industry. They have the financial backing and real, organization backing of CVS, the pharmacy company. Got to throw Aetna into this equation. Next on our list, I'm going to mention Mutual of Omaha. Mutual of Omaha is a pioneer in the Medicare supplement industry. We did a complete episode called The History of Mutual of Omaha, I believe, when we hit 100 episodes. Might have been episode 101. I'll see if I can find that, or maybe it was 100 on the dot. But like reaching episode 200, we wanted to make sure that we were bringing a really, really interesting and exciting episode to the table and the forefront. I'm not sure exactly which episode that is. There's so many episodes. I'm not going to waste your time going through it. But Mutual of Omaha, has been at the forefront of Medicare supplement policies. I mean, they've been doing them, 55, 56 years now. They have an A+ rating with AM Best, and they have been around so long. They have survived the test of time, and they're bigger today now than they probably have ever been. A lot of you probably recognize Mutual of Omaha from, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, a television show that was airing back in the day. And Mutual of Omaha has adapted and changed pretty dramatically over the years, in the Medicare supplement industry, and they're at the forefront of it. They have more policyholders than most insurance companies. They're definitely in the top 3. And we think that they do just a really, really good, fantastic job overall. They've always been very well regarded in the industry. So Mutual of Omaha, they have the name recognition, they have the reputation, they have an unbelievable brand, and they have the policyholders to be able to kind of back up their claim. Mutual of Omaha is the second insurance company that we place on our list here. The third insurance company I'm going to mention is Cigna. So Cigna has been innovating pretty strongly since 1982. They are at the forefront for Medicare supplement companies. They have an A rating with AM Best. And Cigna, has been another company that has innovated, has grown, and has really created a strong priority in having an easy experience for the customer. The rates have been pretty competitive in most markets. The rate increases are strong sometimes. Other times not. They're not always right on with that. But they've been a really, really good company for us to work with, and I really can't leave them out of this equation. Third on my list would be Cigna. The fourth company on my list would probably be the Blue Cross Blue Shield organization. Now, when I say Blue Cross Blue Shield, it means every single company in the Blue Cross Blue Shield organization, and it's kind of hard to talk about them all specifically, but there are so many different Blue Cross Blue Shield companies that kind of all stand on their own 2 feet, but they all do fall under the same organization. Blue Cross Blue Shield was established in 1929. They've evolved over the years, and nowadays 1 in 3 Americans are covered by a Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance plan, which is amazing. And essentially, we've done a lot of business with our local Blue Cross Blue Shield company here, Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield, which we've very much enjoyed. And they've been very good to us, very good to our customers, great reputation. They probably have the strongest and best reputation of probably any insurance company. I can't think of an insurance company that might have a better reputation. They are a dynamite brand. Everybody knows Blue Cross Blue Shield. Their customer service is really what they're known for and what they hang their hat on, and paying claims speedily and just ease is really kind of what they're known for. Got to mention Blue Cross Blue Shield in this particular equation. So we've got Aetna, we've got Mutual of Omaha, we've got Cigna, we've got the Blue Cross Blue Shield organization as a whole. Number 5, I'm not going to tell you till segment 3. That's a tease. I have to take one last break, folks. I'll tell you my 5th and final company in segment 3. After we take one more break, don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with me all the way to the end on this episode. I love Medicare supplements. I love insurance companies. I just really do geek out on them. And this was really, really difficult for me to kind of put together a list of only 5. There were so many companies I wanted to throw in here, but I had to put in the companies that were the biggest, had the most members, and were really the ones that were controlling, in a way, if you will, the industry. the industry. And I could not leave off our 5th and final company, and that was United Healthcare, United Health Group. Obviously, their partnership with AARP is humongous. Whether you like AARP or whether you despise AARP is really irrelevant. I think what United Healthcare has been able to do in the Medicare supplement space is very, very astounding. Depending on your source, they probably have anywhere between 4 to 4.5 million policyholders on Medicare supplements alone. And that by far exceeds anyone else in the insurance industry. Because they have such a tremendous block of insurance business, which in the industry, a block means lots and lots of customers. They can spread risk around very well. They're able to kind of do some things not every company can do. That AARP brand helps them out a lot. The AARP brand is exclusive to them, so they're the only insurance company that carries that AARP brand. You can't make a list, in my personal opinion, of top Medicare supplement companies and leave them off. I don't see how you do it. So those are my 5, folks. Aetna, Cigna, Mutual of Omaha, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and United Health Group. Do you folks agree with my list? We would love to know about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please drop a comment in the comment section on who I missed, who I left out. Do you think I did? Do you think I got it completely right? We'd love to hear your opinions on this. And folks, thank you again for being with me. I hope this episode was enjoyable. It's kind of a little fun break from what our normal content is. I very much enjoy these, and I hope that you folks do as well. I think if you've listened to all 200 episodes of our podcast, I think I know the type of person that you are, the type of person that I'm talking to right now. And it's somebody that just really has an interest in the industry in general. And some of you might not have that interest. Some of you might only be interested in, the nitty-gritty as far as what do I need to do, how do I need to do it, how much it's going to cost, all that stuff. That's fine. This podcast is for you too. There's plenty of episodes about that, hundreds. Oh, probably at least over 100. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience over the years. Thank you for all of your support. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for sticking with us for 200 episodes. We'll be back with episode 201, 202, and 203 next week. Take care.